What's going on, guys? The Geektastic Duo is back. It's been a while, and we're going to talk about what if we cared about current Marvel.
What if? What if? I mean, yeah, that's a question I've asked myself. For a while now, I've cared less and less and less and less. And it's gotten to the point where I'm done with current Marvel. I'm completely done.
Why? I love Marvel.
I love Marvel too, but not Marvel now.
That's the key, right? We're talking about current Marvel, right?
Yeah, I love these characters.
We grew up loving them, right?
We grew up these
part of our childhood.
Yeah, it's part of our childhood, and Marvel is just lost, and not just in the movies, no, in the comics too. It's like they're lost. It's done.
I'm going to be honest and say that I haven't been following Marvel comics the way I did as a kid. I haven't seen that risk. It's just more of the same for me, and it's just I'm like, okay, we get, the more Captain America, more, like how, like you got to revolutionize these guys in a way that's more than just, for me, race swapping a character. That's just
the race swapping and the race swapping and all the woke stuff. That's just one. Well, that's the biggest problem. But for example, the thing that just got me over the edge was what they did with Captain America. They came out with this comic called The United States of Captain America, where they have different Captain America from different places around the country. Yeah,
that was the New York Captain America.
No, there was one of them is that gay Captain America, the one that you sent me a while ago. The gay Captain America of the railways that only protects homeless people.
I saw that image, and it just didn't scream Captain America to me. And I'm just like, I didn't know if that's really the angle they were going with. So I know you're more Captain America.
Yeah, they went with that.
Than me, so I sent you that.
It's like supposed to be where like Captain America is traveling the country and meeting different people who are inspired by him. So that was that was the first one, the gay one of the railways. And then there was a Native American one that had a really
before that, because you've been, like I said, you've been following Captain America better than me. What storyline had that kind of like just dropped it for you? As far as the comics,
when they turned him into a Nazi, when they turned him into a Hydra guy, like all along. That like?
I have a question for God. Why?
That was a real thing, and then they tried to fix it, but it was very messy the way they tried to fix it, and it just didn't work.
Okay. I was never I heard of that. Like I'm like, what? Captain America was always part of Hydra, so I don't know if that's something where, like they're trying to like maybe he didn't know, or it's messy, I guess. So it was
very messy. And that was the start of it for me. They did a lot of stuff after that, like having storylines where like Captain America he didn't come to becoming Captain America on his own. He had a lot of outside influences that guided him to that. So it removes the agency from the character.
If we talk about the Marvel films, like when we're talking about Civil War and we're talking about like the Infinity War and like those were good, right?
I'm not a big fan of what they did with Captain America in Endgame.
Okay.
I thought that him going back in time to be with Peggy was selfish, and it's not something that I feel Captain America would actually do. Steve Rogers wouldn't do that.
Okay.
He wouldn't do that.
I'm not gonna lie that I had a little issues there with how he just kind of gives the shield to the Falcon. I felt like the Falcon needs to earn it or show something of that within the end game, within that. Like everyone had their little segment. I thought he'd have a segment where you can see that. Well, and then Captain America was like, hey, you deserve this. So just so people know where we're at as far as, comics and then like, the movie. So now we're going into like the new stuff that's coming out and into the TV show, like the WandaVision. And then I know you weren't crazy about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We got to watch that and we shared our views on that.
Yeah.
So it's like after the taste of those two, like WandaVision, I thought was interesting. And then, you were saying how pretty much she got away with.
Yeah, she basically she was a villain the whole time. Like she enslaved these people in this town because, I need Vision back, blah, blah, blah. It was like this selfish kind of like narcissistic need. And then at the end of the show, she gets more powerful and she just gets away with it. There's no consequences for her at all.
She sacrificed her selfishness, right? She let the people go. I mean, she had them freaking basically enslaved for the duration of that whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, you go back to your lives like nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh.
I thought the beginning was interesting, how like a TV show. Like I kind of thought that was cool and fresh. When you bring up the whole, how there's no repercussions, I kind of see that. I'm like, okay, I wasn't thinking it in that way. But to be honest with you, on how it ended, if I'm excited now moving forward, anything about Scarlet Witch or Wanda, I'm not. I mean, just the way it ended, I'm just like, no. There's nothing there that leaves me like anticipating the next season. Like if the next season comes on, I'm being genuine when I say I'm not interested to see it. Like there's nothing there that's going to get me to watch it. Then we talked about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You guys could check our review on that. We go really into detail what we liked and didn't like. But the truth is that the weight of those two shows and how we digested it kind of left us with, a kind of bellyache where we don't want to look at anything else now, right?
When this Loki show came out, I'm like, I have no interest in Loki at all. I don't want to touch that show. I'm done.
So I think Loki as a seething, conniving trickster god as a character, I think is compelling. I think it do so much with him. Let's talk about the comics, but like Tom Hiddleston's portrayal of him, I think it's okay, but for him propelling his own Loki show, I'm going to echo your sentiment because I also was not enthralled by that premise. I wasn't chomping at the bits for Loki. And even till now, there's 6 episodes in, and I remember talking to one of my cousins. I'm like, hey, be honest, like, is it really like that great? I mean, he's like, one episode was okay, but
Yeah. And then the Black Widow movie just came out. I'm not watching that.
Well, I'm gonna say I will watch that. I'll wait for it to. I know if you have Disney Plus, you have to unlock the premiere access. I'm not gonna do that. I'll wait for it to be free. But I love a femme fatale movie. I always love that archetype. I love the femme fatale. I do have issues with Scarlett Johansson kind of downplaying the femme fatale. Like, do you even like this whole hypersexualization in Iron Man 2? Like, I mean, come on, man. I'll watch it because I'm just curious. I mean, I still like that type of James Bond-ish, secret agent type, femme fatale. I love that. I'm not going to lie. And I will give Black Widow a chance because I just want to see what they do with it. And I just want to see as a whole if just organically, I want to watch it and see what I feel. If you don't watch it, we could do a video on sharing my thoughts and I could spoil it, and you could just tell me what you think.
Oh, I know all the spoilers. I watched videos on it. I've read about it.
So before I watch any videos and stuff, I'll watch it organically. We can talk about it, and you can bring in what you've read and heard, and I could transition that from my experience.
I'll warn you, it's super woke, and they do the swapping. They do all of that. It's all feminist and anti-man, and
what you're talking about the gender swapping, and that I did hear was that the Taskmaster is female now.
Yeah.
If they want to be anti-male, wouldn't it be cool to just have him as a male and have him as a kind of a decent, like a challenging male villain? I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a male villain and having a female hero. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a great villain will always push the hero to the limit. It always makes it seem like the hero can't beat the villain. Like, I mean, that's why we love watching Batman and Joker and any good, Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus. We love that challenge of wits. We love that. So making the Taskmaster female, I don't see that as like really debilitating the story as long as, I mean, if she's a competent villain, now if she's just not a competent villain, then it's just like, okay, great. Black Widow doesn't really have any mountain to overcome. That's not going to be fun to watch, but I'll give that a chance. Here we go to the what if, right? And we're on the what if we care about current Marvel.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you.
The animation looks good.
The animation does look cool. It looks actually brilliant. I'm not going to lie. I always love the idea of a what if. Just in general, I love the idea of a what if. What if I win the lotto tomorrow? Like, what if I, what if I get, signed by Marvel and they let me write a Spider-Man Miles Morales story? What if, right? We could go into a bunch of what ifs. But I like the Marvel Universe what if in the comics because one of my favorite what if storylines was what if the Punisher killed off the Marvel Universe? And I know, Ron, you're not crazy about that one, right? I don't think you ever read that one.
No.
I read it and I loved it and I like it in that it's a what if storyline, but in that story, it's like canon to itself. And I like that. And I think in a what if, brand, you can really make some compelling storylines, like the black costume for Spider-Man, right? What if the symbiote actually possessed Peter Parker, right? Like, you could do so many things, and because of how ho-hum-drum Captain and Falcon and the Winter Soldier was, WandaVision and Loki, and just how there's no substance, there's more flash than anything, and it doesn't hit me where it needs to hit me. I feel that this new What If series will be more race swapping, gender swapping. What if, like we just see, I think is it Captain Britain if she's a female?
Yeah, that's Peggy Carter as Captain whatever. I don't know.
It's like it doesn't, I know you can hardly see it here, but in the top left corner, it looks like Spider-Man with a cape. I don't know if that's like Doctor Strange. What if Spider-Man was Doctor Strange?
I think you see Ultron there.
Yeah, and especially for animation, you have so much room for potential and creativity where you can make these engaging, thought-provoking what-if storylines. And I feel that they're just going to be dumbed down to, what if this was that? What if that was that? And it's just going to be meh instead of amazing.
I feel like, with all of this going on with the upcoming stuff, with the Eternals, and which is
the Eternals was a trailer. I saw the trailer. It was like real vanilla for me. It didn't do anything for me.
They just swapped everybody. Nobody is the character they are supposed to be from the comics. It's no.
And apparently they were watching Earth through all this time, but when Earth was getting hammered by Thanos, they did bother not to do anything about it, right? I got a problem with that. Even like Loki, I talked to my cousin. I'm like, so what's the deal with Loki? He's like, well, when he took whatever stone he took in the movie, like it takes off from him taking that away and leaving, which is interesting. And is he becoming like this mastermind, this mischievous villain god that I would like to see? And he's like, no, the TVA time variant authority. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that, but he's like, they caught him and they're like questioning him. And I'm like, they're doing that. I'm like, what'd they do for Thanos? Where were they around for Thanos when Thanos was doing everything that he was doing in timelines? And that breaks it for me. That's not even more reason why I'm not interested in that show. Just because the narrative is it's falling by the wayside.
Yeah, and what the thing that just really just made me just boycott current Marvel like completely. It was a combination of things, but it was basically in one of the latest issues of Captain America. Essentially, Captain America says that the American dream is a lie.
I forgot America bad, America evil.
Yeah.
Every white person in this world is evil. Slavery was only done by white people. It was not done by anybody else. Yeah. It's not like the Africans were selling their own people as slaves. That was not happening.
So they have this Captain America essentially just being anti-American. This came out on 4th of July or the week of 4th of July. I just saw that, and I'm like, Marvel hates America. Marvel hates us as fans. They don't care about these characters. They don't care about the legacy of Stan Lee. They only care about pushing their own agenda. That's all they care about. Okay, and I'm done.
For the record, I just want to say, I love America. I think it's a great country, and it's
not perfect. I know that it's not perfect.
Exactly. We like anything has a bad history, but you can't be held by the past. Like, the past will not define you. It's who you are moving forward that defines you. You can't be trapped on what happened in the past. We got to look at, hey, where can we improve? Let's make the conversation on how to improve, but let's not just make it about race, because when we make it about race, that's all we see is race, and then we don't see unity.
And Gilly, I know
more unity.
I know you're not like this, but there's a lot of people out there, Marvel stans or pulp culture cultists, where they want to just consume everything with the Marvel logo on it, no matter the quality, because, it's Marvel, so I have to like it. Well, it might be good. Like, what?
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
Like Kevin Smith crying over Star Wars, right? The Disney Star Wars, and it was just utter trash.
It was utter trash. Yeah.
I'm not as much as I love Star Wars, as much as I used to love Disney. I'm kind of in this hate relationship.
You're not a blind consumer. You're
I'm not. I always look at everything, and if it captures me, it captures me. And there are people that are blind consumers. Great. I challenge myself, because I guess we're creators, so we see things differently. And it's just, I'm not a blind consumer. I'm not a lemming. I'm not a sheep. I will look, and I will give everything a chance. I will give Black Widow a chance.
All right.
The What If show, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm sorry. I do see behind to the right of this, female Captain Britain, whatever. Zombies, it looks like it's a Marvel Zombies episode. So what if Marvel Zombies universe? I'm gonna be all over that one.
I don't know. I think Ultron looks cool on there.
The Ultron will look cool. There are gonna be some cool ones. I wanted to get super duper excited about this, and I'm just not. I will give it a shot, but guys, this is where we're at. We're not, we don't care about current Marvel the way we did as we were kids and cared about Marvel.
But the MCU used to be really, really, really good. I love a lot of the older MCU movies. Just some great stuff there.
There's a lot of classic stuff, and I think we deviated a lot from what worked, and we deviated from how we can challenge ourselves to use the old to make it better, aside from gender swapping, race swapping. And I think a good example to compare is manga. If you look at manga is outselling American comics. Like, it's by a margin that's just, it's unsavory.
I wish I liked manga more, but I kind of don't.
I love anime. It's just manga. Berserk is one manga that I enjoyed, but it's that right to left. It's just, I'm sorry, guys. I'm that much of a freaking hard-headed numbskull where I want to read, left to right. I don't want to read right to left. I just don't. But I've read Berserk. I've enjoyed it. And there's a lot of great stories and themes in anime that I will forever love and be glued to, which is why, I understand the how manga is so successful and I respect it. It's because they focus on stories and themes, and they give you something for everybody, and they don't care about anything else. And if they're gonna get political with it, they do it in a way that's not at the expense of the story, where it doesn't seem like they're preaching to you.
My advice is don't be a blind consumer. Take a look at what they're doing and ask yourself, is it worth it supporting these people?
Demand more.
Demand more. By I hate to say, but by paying for Black Widow now, you're giving into them. They count on people who are, blind consumers, but they also count on people who are like, well, this one might be good.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
Yeah, I think it's good to draw the line because, again, you can be buying all these comics, but, I mean, if you're reading and enjoying them, great. No one can say what you can't read and enjoy, but...
And I'm still going to support classic Marvel. I'm going to buy a lot of their old comics. I'm going to buy them from third-party vendors because I think Amazon is really good for that. I've gotten a lot of comics from Amazon.
I still support vendors. Marvel. I got my Thunderbolts omnibus. I got my Aliens omnibus. I got the Night of the Old Republic omnibus.
I got Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War. I got a bunch of Captain America graphic novels and Spider-Man, and I'm still gonna buy that stuff. And there's amazing resources out online where you can buy the stuff pre-owned, where you can still enjoy Marvel without paying a cent to Marvel or Disney.
Ron's a super extremist. I still give them a little bit of money, but it's on certain ways. I agree with you, but I'm tired of having a pile of shame. I did have a pile of shame. The ongoings. I'm just done with that. I'm done. That's it. I just buy stuff that I know I'm going to enjoy reading and that stand the test of time, or that show it's going in the right direction. Guys, let us know. Are you excited about current Marvel? Are you super excited about any of these new shows that are coming out, any of these new movies that are coming out? Let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe to our Geektastic Duo channel as we continue to grow, because you're getting some feedback from some diehard fans and also burgeoning creators. I create a comic, Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. You can check it out on scoutcomics.com. Also follow my YouTube channel, Gilly Writes Comics, to see whenever I'm doing something new. And we also know that Ron has his amazing Paragon Prime comic book. So we are true fans, and we're also creators. So if you like what you hear, definitely consider supporting us, guys. Thank you so much. Geek out.
Geek out, guys.